Web design is a great career path, both if you're looking to work full-time or part-time at a company, or if you want to become a freelance web designer. But there is a lot of confusion when it comes to the exact path that you need to take in order to become a web designer. In this video, I want to give you a clear path and what helped me become a web designer, since I've been doing this for over 8 years and I've been working both in-house and also as a freelancer with clients from all around the world. So let's get started with the very first step, which is learning the basic design principles. And I'm referring to things such as color and the way that shape works. So one of the most important things to keep in mind is to understand design as a whole. And my biggest tip is to get a book which is going to give you all of these universal principles, and the one that I personally recommend is Universal Principles of Design, since this book is going to give you an overview of everything that you need to know when it comes to the basic design principles. Now, another pillar of web design is typography, since you're going to use type a lot, and typography is one of those elements that can really change the mood and the visual appearance of a particular design, and can also improve conversions. So definitely not skip on type, and typography is one of those things that you can learn by reading books and also blog articles. One of the books that I personally preferred the most when it comes to learning type is Typography Essentials. And this is going to give you a really good base, although there are many books on typography, and the topic in and of itself is huge. But I would recommend you to just learn the basic principles and then try to use web-friendly fonts such as Google Web Fonts or all sorts of other fonts which are web-friendly. Now, if you're going to learn web design, you definitely want to learn about layouts and grids. And this is not only going to be very important when creating the actual website and building it into code, since you're going to need to use columns and grids and set the, for example, the width sizes of the website. But it's going to be crucial also as a designer to really understand the composition and where to put more emphasis or where not to put more emphasis, because chances are in every single web page you're going to have some things which are going to have more important than other ones. You want to create a clear hierarchy so that the user understands what's most important, and you can direct them towards those sections and call to actions. Now, another thing that I really wish that I was told when I first started out in web design is the importance of a process, because chances are you're going to need to follow one if you want to create high quality websites and use a scalable process. Because if every new client you're going to use a different process, chances are you're going to waste a lot of time. You're not going to be as efficient in each and every web design, and the whole process is going to be a mess, and also your business is not going to exceed as much as it can. So you want to maximize your potential of growth and create and use a process which you feel comfortable with. Now, if you look online, there's a lot of processes, and you can use any of them as a base and then create and craft your own. And that's my biggest tip. Don't just follow blindly a process of another web agency or another freelancer, but kind of use one as a reference, try it with a client, and then create your own. Now, if we're talking about web design, A/B testing is king, because one of the things that you're going to learn really fast is that not always the prettiest or the design that you think is going to convert the most is actually going to be the one which is going to be the winner. And trying to see things as objectively as you can. So A/B testing in a nutshell is creating 2 variations of the same page and then testing them 50-50. So if you have 1,000 visitors of traffic, bring 500 to one, 500 to the other one, and then you can see which one converts the most or brings the most email subscribers, or bring whatever goal you have for that specific page. That's going to make all the difference when it comes to finding the page which is going to be the winner. Now, if you're going into web design, an inevitable big part of it is the coding part. And here you must make a decision. Do you want to do the coding yourself? Do you want to outsource it? Or maybe do you want a middle way, which is using a software such as Webflow, which is going to enable you to both design and also code the websites yourself. Now that obviously is going to save you a lot of time, and Webflow, I personally used it for years. It's a great software. I use it for both personal and also clients projects, and overall it's a really great solution. So I would consider checking it out. But the old school way, which is, coding it yourself, is still definitely a very viable choice, and in some cases it's kind of like the only choice that you can make. Now, another great thing that you can do is outsourcing. So basically you can just focus on the client management and also the design portion of it, and then you can totally outsource the coding, so you don't have to deal with it at all almost. There isn't really a right or wrong approach. These are the three options that you have on the table, and you might want to experiment with all of them and see which one works best for you. Now, another big tip which I have for you is to find inspiration from designs which are already proven to work, and designs that you're inspired by. So check out websites such as Dribble or Behance, since you're going to find a lot of inspiration for web design. And I think Dribble is really good for one-off shots inspirations, and Behance, there you can find more in-depth case studies of entire projects, and I personally use both of them. They're great websites, and they're kind of the top in the industry. Now, another tip which I have for you is to use UI kits in order to speed up your design workflow. And in so many cases, like, UI kits are totally going to make like a complete difference, and especially if you're a freelancer, you can make a lot of more money faster if you're using a UI kit rather than just opening the design software and staring at the white screen, which can be overwhelming. And I totally understand the feeling because I've been there multiple times. And basically, using UI kits, you already have a proven structure of success, and you just need to adapt it in order to fulfill the client's objective. Now, some projects are going to be more customized than other ones, so it really depends on the project, but definitely check out UI kits. And one of my favorite sources is going on UI8.net, since in my opinion is the best UI kit marketplace available on the market. And you're not going to find all sorts of freebies, but you're going to find premium UI kits which are definitely going to save you a lot of time. They look stunning, and yeah, just overall a great place to go. You also want to use resources for icons and images, since you don't want to take the individual photos yourself, nor you want to create the individual icons, since there's plenty of both royalty-free images and also free icons, but you can also go with the premium options if the client is willing to pay for that specific option. Now, my favorite places when it comes to finding images is unsplash.com. The images on unsplash.com are royalty free, they're really high quality, and in my opinion, it's one of the best websites out there for finding royalty-free images. And when it comes to the icons, I really like Icon Finder. Although I would also recommend you to download the Nucleo app. One Nucleo app is essentially an icon management software, which is going to enable you to visualize the icons, and you can simply drag and drop them in your favorite design software. So basically it's making the process of adding icons to the project very fast and easy. Now, I want to end this video with a note on design softwares, because that's another thing which I get asked very often, and that is which design software to use. And my best suggestion is to just use one of the top 3 design softwares that we have in the marketplace at this present moment, or even if they're not the top 3, they're just the most common ones. And those are Adobe XD, Figma, or Sketch. each and every one of these can pretty much do the same, so you can do whatever you want with these design softwares. And my suggestion is to just learn one, because even if you want to transition to another one, the same principles are going to translate, and the learning curve is going to be very small for the most part. And by the way, if you're interested in learning more about UI UX design, on my YouTube channel I have over 300 videos on both design software tutorials and also videos like this one, where I'm sharing my experience of being a web designer and UI UX designer for over 8 years now. So feel free to check it out, on my website I also have all sorts of freebies, so feel free to check out my personal websites if you're interested in freebies of all kinds, from UI kits to design sources, and also mini courses which I'm giving exclusive access to you. So feel free to check it out, and I'll see you in the next video.